morning and welcome to another vlog. It's Wednesday the 26th of March and I've just returned from Aldeburgh, so I'm going to show you a little bit of that beautiful seaside town along with Thorpeness, which is just along the coast. I'm going to show you what makeup I took with me, and that's what I'm wearing today. And I'm also going to tell you a little bit about my schedule for the week and what I've got coming up in the makeup department as well in terms of reviews. So let's get on with it, and I'll start with showing you a little bit of Aldeburgh. Oh, and I will add a very short but I think quite amusing story about when I once stayed near to Aldeburgh many years ago and what I discovered there. So we're now in the centre of the town, and it really is a thriving little town. It is touristy and there are lots of holiday homes, but it also has schools, it has a cinema, it has the Jubilee Hall where they have lots of theatre productions. It's very arty. It's very artsy. There are lots of art galleries and studios, as well as very nice shops. It's got a really good bakery, it's got a couple of excellent delis, restaurants. I hear those voices that will not be drowned. And those are words from one of the operas written by Benjamin Britten, in whose honour this was made. And it's from his opera Peter Grimes. It caused a lot of controversy when it was first placed here, because some people were very upset that it spoilt the beach, but I think it's a fantastic landmark. Well, I love the idea of it, the concept of it. In fact, it's more beautiful on this side, I think. But also it's kind of a landmark now, so when I come here and I want to do a walk to get some exercise and to be by the sea, I use this as a sort of reference point. You know, shall I just walk as far as the Scallop? I'm in Thorpeness, which is just a couple of miles down the road from Aldeburgh. Some watery sun is trying desperately to appear through the clouds. It's a very cold day, it's about 8 degrees at the moment. And I'm going to take you on a little tour of this very interesting, what was a holiday village. And it still has a lot of holiday homes in it actually, but it was created by a man called Stuart Ogilvie in the 20s, and he inherited this land from his father, and he was a playwright and a barrister and a friend of J.M. Barrie, who wrote Peter Pan. And he decided to create this, as some people call it, a fantasy village for the wealthy. And for some reason or other he decided that mock Tudor and mock Jacobean houses were the order of the day, so most of the houses you see here are in that style. Let me just show you these mock Tudor and mock Jacobean houses, and they are very pretty. They're quite chocolate boxy. That little duck nearly got run over. Oh, I think you've wandered a bit too far away, mate. So what did I take with me to Aldeburgh in the makeup department? And this was the makeup bag that I took. Now, as those of you who watched my channel before will know, I always take so much makeup with me, but we were only away for 4 days, and also I wasn't going to be testing any makeup. I just wanted to make it easy for myself. We'd planned to go out to dinner a couple of nights. Obviously I wanted to look nice for that. I think I did go makeup free on one of the days, but I wanted to make sure I had enough in my arsenal, so to speak, so that I could make myself up and to give myself a choice of shades as well. I always like to take a couple of different lipsticks, for example, whether I'm going a bit cool toned or a bit warm toned, and the same with the blusher depending what I'm wearing as well. So I did cut it down, I promise you, but I thought you might be interested to know what I took with me. Now, I've promised to do a review of this product, or these products, by Laura Mercier, but I haven't actually got around to it yet. But just to let you know that I am actually wearing the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturiser. I think this is such a good tinted moisturiser. In fact, I forgot that it was called a tinted moisturiser because I think the coverage is really good. And I think the reason I don't think of it as a tinted moisturiser so much is because it's not very runny, as some tinted moisturisers are. So let me just show you what I mean. See, look at that. That does not look like a tinted moisturiser, does it? I think most tinted moisturisers, and I suppose I'm thinking of, which ones am I thinking of? The ones that have the very thin applicator. This is much more like a foundation, but I think you can see it hasn't given me a huge amount of coverage. It's just given me enough. And because I'm sort of leaning into this whole minimalist makeup thing, I mean, whether it'll continue, I don't know. It might be the time of year, so don't hold me to it. But I am enjoying that sort of aesthetic, if you like. So I think this tinted moisturiser does fit in with that aesthetic. And to go along with the tinted moisturiser, I've also got the Laura Mercier concealer, which is called the Real Flawless one. Now these are the two products that I was encouraged to try when I went to Selfridges a few weeks ago. And I am really pleased with this. And what I'm doing at the moment, and this is a bit of a revelation for me, and I will do this when I know I keep talking about my next concealer testing video, which will be coming soon. I'm not powdering my under eyes, which for me is a huge revelation. And I'm actually finding that my under eyes look so much better if I don't apply any powder to the concealer. Now I have applied some powder, I'll show you which one in a minute, down my T-zone, but I have not touched my under eyes at all, and I think they look fine. I don't think they need mattifying. In fact, in a way, and I know that this is something I'm just learning now, I'm very late to the party, mattifying is not a great look for us older skins, and I am 70 by the way, if you haven't watched my channel before. So the less powder we can use, the better really. So I'm really delighted with both the tinted moisturiser and the concealer, and the fact that I'm not using powder on the concealer. And so the powder I did take with me is the Hourglass Ambient lighting powder, which I've had for quite a few years, and it is quite glowy. I don't always love it, but I just grabbed it because it was handy. And sometimes I don't like the sort of sparkle it gives, but I think at the moment, given we're in spring and we want to look a little bit more glowy, I think it's fine. And maybe this is something I will gravitate towards more as I lose my enthusiasm for powder, and mattifying powder at that. So this was fine, and also it's a nice handy size. It is a bit heavy, but it's a handy size. It's not too big for a powder compact, so I think this is fine. And actually I've just thought I could have packed my little mini Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, but I didn't. I used this one and I'm very pleased with it. And then for blushes, I took the little E.L.F Camo Concealer blushes, liquid blushes, and I've rediscovered these and decided I really like them. And in terms of application, actually, I forgot to say how I applied the tinted moisturiser and the concealer, and I just used my makeup sponge. I think this is by E.L.F, but I also get some from Boots, which are a lot cheaper when I'm in a Boots. But I used this for everything, so I used it first for the tinted moisturiser, then the concealer, and then for the blushes. And of course I washed it afterwards and then I can use it again the next day. But it's been so handy, and I haven't actually even used my fingers. I've literally just used the sponge, and it makes travelling with a makeup bag so much easier because you don't have to worry about any brushes. You literally just take the sponge. Then for my brows, I took the Hourglass Arch. Now, tell me something, do my brows look a bit orange on camera? Because when I applied this morning, and I had better light here at home than I did when I was away in Aldeburgh, when I applied them this morning, I thought, are they looking a little bit too warm? I don't know, so let me know what you think. But anyway, it's a really quick and easy pencil, and I just grabbed for it. You've got a spoolie at one end, you've got the retractable pencil. Now the good thing about this retractable pencil in some respects is it's quite wide. Let me show you the nib. I don't know if you can see, it's a wide nib, where some retractable pencils are very fine. Then for eyes, I took the Victoria Beckham eyeshadow stick in Shroom, which is what I'm wearing today. I haven't even powdered my lids. Actually, I've literally just gone over them with the stick, and I think they, for a minimalist makeup look, yes, they're going to fade a little bit and crease over the day, but they're not going to look terrible. And of course you can stick this in your bag and just quickly retouch if that's what you want to do. So that's one of the reasons I really love using a stick. But just in case I wanted to amp it up a little bit in the evening, I also took the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal pencil, and I think I took the shade, I just grabbed the first one that came to hand. I think this one is Cinnamon. Then I took just one lip pencil, and it's the NYX, which I'm always talking about and raving about because it's such a nice neutral colour, and of course very reasonably priced. So I took that, and I also took 3 Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. So I took, what did I take? So I took Velvet Muse, Sunday Matinee, and this one. And I can never remember the names of this one. This is one of the Rouge Experience lipsticks. I'll just quickly swatch them for you. Now, I'm wearing Muse, or at least I applied Muse, but it looked a little bit dark, so I put the Sunday Matinee over the top. So those are the lipsticks I took, and actually this morning what I've done is I've put Velvet Muse on, then I've applied some Sunday Matinee to brighten it up a bit because it was just looking a little bit dark. But they're so reliable, the Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. They are my absolute favourite lipsticks. If I had to only choose one brand of lipstick, it would be Lisa Eldridge. So that's all the makeup I took with me, and it served me very well while I was there. Having said that, I wasn't going anywhere that fancy, but we did go out for dinner a couple of times, so I wanted to make myself up for that. And I'm in love with the Laura Mercier skin tint. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Let me know if you'd like me to do a dedicated Laura Mercier wear test on the skin tint. I probably should. In fact, I think I may have promised to do it before, but honestly, my schedule just seems to be chocker at the moment, but I will find time to do that along with the concealer wear test as well. So let me talk about other things that I've got up and coming actually. Now I've got this huge box of products, and these are products that I want to try on camera, but I just haven't got around to it yet, and I need to fit them into my schedule. But I thought I'd just share with you what I want to be testing, or what I'm going to be testing. And you can let me know in the comments what I should perhaps prioritise. Now I know one that I should definitely prioritise, or one category that I should prioritise, and that is bronzing drops. And I bought these, I have a feeling I bought them last year, but I haven't used them yet. And I've got the Bondi Sands Self Tan drops, so these are the affordable drops. And I've also got the D-Bronzy Anti-Pollution Sunshine drops by Drunk Elephant. Now the reason it's taken me so long, and the reason I've only got these two products, is because it's so difficult to find bronzing drops that do not contain fragrance. And for those of you who are new to the channel, I'm allergic to fragrance and anything with vanilla in it. So these two are fine for me. I've checked and there's no fragrance and no vanilla in them. But that's why there's only the two. So I definitely am going to be doing these soon, because we're coming into that time of year. And actually one of my work colleagues said that she is loving using bronzing drops. So and she'd asked me if I'd ever tested them, and I said I hadn't, but I've got a couple. So I need to get on with this, and I will get on with it. Now another couple of things, and these are viewer suggested as well, as were the bronzing drops. There are a few people who've asked me about bronzing drops. Now one of my lovely subscribers suggested that I try this Magic Cushion Foundation by Muse, and this is a Korean brand. Now again, a lot of cushion foundations contain fragrance, which is why I've never tested the Tear, which was all over social media in the last year or so, but this one doesn't contain fragrance, which is great news, and so I'm definitely going to be trying that. And another viewer suggested product is the L'Oreal Magic BB Cream. I've never tried a BB cream. I've tried a CC cream. Years ago I used to use the It Cosmetics CC cream, which I haven't revisited actually, but I suppose I could. And that doesn't contain fragrance either, but I did find it quite heavy. But I've never tried a BB cream, so looking forward to trying that, and of course that's very affordable. Now I've got a couple of primers, and this one this one is a bit of a shame, this Vive, which again has been all over social media in the last couple of months, and it's called the Skin Nova Instant Radiance Primer. Now the problem with this is it's got fragrance in it, but Vive wanted to send it to me, so I couldn't really refuse. And what's the worst that could happen? I can certainly try it as a primer, although I'd take it off a bit later, but we could see how foundation went over the top of it, couldn't we? So I'm happy to give that a go. But this one, which I picked up myself, is the No. 7 Hydroluminous Hydrating Primer. So I thought that might be good to try, and actually maybe we could do a little test to see which one works best with a foundation over the top. Then in my quest to find an affordable eyeshadow palette with very little fallout and some really good pigmentation, I picked up these three eyeshadow palettes. So a couple of Milani's, these ones here, which I think I found in Superdrug in one of my visits to Superdrug. And I also picked up this No. 7, which was from Boots. I mean, look at these beautiful shades, aren't they gorgeous? Then I've got some lippies, some affordable lippies, which I haven't really talked about on the channel before. I might have talked about this one, the Maybelline actually, but that's it. So I need to try those as well. So those are some of the makeup products I will be trying in the near future, and let me know whether you want me to prioritise any of them, including I guess the bronzing drops. Now let me tell you a little bit about the rest of my schedule for the week. So today, and apologies for the bin men, I'm sure they won't be long. So this afternoon I'm going to see a heart specialist. Now this is a heart specialist I first saw in 2014 when I was just about to turn 60. And I went to see her. I think I've mentioned this before on my channel. I went to see her because my mother had died at 69 and I wanted to go into my 60s healthy and I wanted to know what I should do. And I chose her because she wasn't that much younger than me, a little bit younger than me, but also she'd written a book about cholesterol and I knew that I had high cholesterol and I tried to bring it down with diet. And actually what had happened was it had gone up, not gone down. It had been high for quite a few years. So I bit the bullet and went to see her. Anyway, I saw her, I went on statins, and then I went back to see her 9 years later. So in August 2023, when I was about to turn 69, and I said to her, look, I want to know what's going on in there. I want to know whether my arteries are okay or not, and can we do a check? So she said, yes, we can send you for a scan. So I had a scan and it turned out that actually my arteries had a lot of calcium on them, although I understand statins can cause calcium as well, but she suggested that I boost my statin with some extra medication. So that's what I'm doing. However, the good old NHS and its infinite wisdom, which tests me every year for my cholesterol and my thyroxine levels, hasn't been doing a fasting test when I've been going for these tests, even though I fast every time I go and I always go early in the morning. But they hadn't been getting the result because they weren't doing the full proper lipid test. Anyway, I persuaded them to please do one, and when I got the result, it wasn't exactly what she'd wanted. It was a little bit higher than the level she had suggested that I should be at, the heart specialist. So I'm going to see her today. It may be fine, but I just want to hear it from her that she's okay with the levels that I'm at. Now, my heart is absolutely fine in terms of I don't get any pains. Even when I run, which is very occasionally for a bus or something, I don't feel any pain at all. My granny had angina and really bad pains for many years, although she lived to 93. My mum died at 69 of a heart attack, and she'd had other episodes before that. And my dad had had some heart problems as well, and a cousin of mine who is still going strong in his 80s had also had heart problems. I had an aunt who died at 55 from a heart attack. So there's heart disease in my family, so I just need to make sure that I'm doing everything I can. So eating a healthy diet, maintaining a healthy weight, and taking medication to keep my heart as healthy as I can. So that's why I'm going to see her today. The other thing I'm doing on Friday is I'm going to the dentist, and this is when we're going to discuss what to do about my teeth. The other thing I'm doing is I'm having dinner with a lovely friend who I used to work with many years ago. Really looking forward to seeing her. She actually moved to the Cayman Islands a few years ago with her husband, and she's back now, and really looking forward to catching up with her. And then on Friday evening, my husband and I and my oldest friend, we're going to see Alto Nights with Robert De Niro. Oh, and then on Sundays, it's Mother's Day here in the UK, I'm going to my daughter's, and I'm so looking forward to it. My son's going to be there. So that's the rest of my week. Now, I promised you a little story about Aldeburgh. Well, it's actually a story about just outside Aldeburgh. So many years ago, when I was married to my second husband, we went to stay in a very fancy hotel. I don't remember the name of it, but it was kind of a country house hotel. Anyway, it was one of those hotels, like I say, it was a country house hotel with big 4-poster beds, quite chintzy, but very nice, had very nice food and all of that. We only had one night there. I think we were doing a little bit of travelling around from memory. Anyway, morning comes and we're getting ready to leave. And as always, we check around to make sure we haven't left anything. So I look under the bed just to make sure that I haven't left anything under there or something hasn't fallen onto the bed. And I see something and I think, oh, that must be, I don't know what it is. But I assume it's something I've dropped on the floor, or maybe my husband's dropped on the floor. So I reach under the bed and I pull it out. And what do I find? But a pair of men's black ciré underpants. Oh, I quickly dropped them. So now I'm undecided what to do. I mean, I'm quite sort of, not disgusted isn't exactly the right word, but kind of. And I don't know whether to drop them in the bin and then the cleaners are going to see them and think, oh, that couple, is that what the bloke was wearing? Or leave them under the bed, in which case they're also going to think that couple has left them behind, if they find them, of course. In the end, I decided to put them back under the bed and leave them there. But honestly, it was really not the end of this very nice night in the hotel that we'd had. It wasn't the ending that I was hoping for. And I didn't really want to think about the sort of bloke who would wear that kind of underwear and what sort of things he and whoever he was with were getting up to. So there we are, let that be a lesson to me. Maybe it's a good idea when you go to a hotel room to check under the bed first before you get in it, in case there's anything untoward under there. And just to go back to my schedule for a moment, next Wednesday I'm considering doing a live. In fact, let me commit to it. I am doing a live next Wednesday. Now, my lovely friend Sandra Salin, whose channel I'll link below, she did a live a couple of weeks ago and it went really well. So I'm going to follow in her footsteps and see whether I can do one as well. But I'll let you know in advance when exactly it is. I think I'm going to do it at 8 p.m. UK time, which seemed to work worldwide, I think. So that's probably what we're going to go with, 8 p.m. UK time, but I will let you know in advance exactly when. So that's it. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and of course give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. And I have a monthly newsletter which I'm very excited to say is nearly at 1,000 subscribers now, and in that I talk about beauty, fashion, lifestyle, all the bits and bobs that bring us joy. And thanks again so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. It really does. And I hope you're all doing really well. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye.